you folks are now seeing the presentation that we have. So thank you, everyone. We're going to be speaking tonight, just giving a preview, but also answering any questions that that you might have regarding the America 250 North Country French Heritage Commemoration that that we have planned. And we want to start off by just noting that this is part of the celebration of the 250th anniversary of America. We're putting together a series of events through the North Country lens to honor French heritage that helped shape the founding character of our communities. And I am the author, as maybe you can see here, of a new book called Vineyards to Victory, which is a story about a French artilleryman whose family then became part of the founding families of the North Country in New York. So we want to thank the Northern New York Community Foundation, the Walker Family Community Fund, and the Pete and Laurel Pike Fund for their support through the Cape Vincent Community Library, of which Amy Pond is the director, and she's here with us tonight. And she'll be presenting information on our launch event. So just a glance, what we're going to be sharing with you tonight is we'll start on July 9th with the event that Amy's going to share with you in just a few moments. And then on July 10th, we'll be over at the Flower Memorial Library for an author event, and there will be books available, copies of Vineyards to Victory available at all of these events. And then on July 11th, we'll be at the French Festival. We'll have a booth all day. Amy and I will be there. We hope a lot of other people will come and join us and get a copy of the book, but also talk about French heritage in the North Country, talk about history, anything that might be covered in the book, which covers quite a period of time. And then we're going to end, and Leon Van Wey is here, and he's going to be sharing with you important information about a Patriot Memorial Service, which is planned. So let's get right into this. Over to you, Amy Pond. What's going to be happening on July 9th?
So the commemoration begins Thursday evening in Cape Vincent. This event introduces the broad story from Yorktown to the North Country. It is the natural opening gathering, and it places the book, the community, and the French heritage story together. I hope you can join us Thursday, July 9th at 7 p.m. at the Cape Vincent Rec Park Center, which is located at 602 South James Street. We're going to have an author talk and book signing. It's hosted by the Cape Vincent Community Library, the Cape Vincent Town Historian, and the Cape Vincent Arts Council. Refreshments will be served and books will be available for a discounted price of $20 each, with the proceeds supporting the library. The event is free and open to the public, and we hope to see you there.
Well done, Amy. And I just want to say, very nice of the library to make the book available, first of all, but at a 31% discount, with 100% of the funds for purchasing a book at this event supporting the Cape Vincent Community Library. And that is due to the support that we've received from the Northern New York Community Foundation and related funds. So Amy, thank you for all you're doing there. We look forward to a really wonderful kickoff to the celebration on July 9th. And then the next day, we're going to be over at the Flower Memorial Library for an author talk and a history talk. I, of course, will be at all of these events. And so if you have questions about the book, have questions about the history, I'm happy to do the very best job I can to answer those questions. There will be refreshments available on July 9th and on July 10th. Books will be available at the Flower Memorial Library event as well. That will take place on July 10th at the Flower Memorial Library, 229 Washington Street, Watertown, from 4 to 6 p.m. And then next We're going to be at the French Festival. Amy, you and I will be at the Cape Vincent Community Library booth at the French Festival. This will be a wonderful day to have conversation. Of course, we're counting on beautiful weather, and there'll be refreshments available all day. We'll be talking about the history of the book. We'll be talking about, as Amy said, the connection between our Revolutionary War that brought our country into existence, and the Yorktown battle that Simeon fought at, and the connection to the North Country and the founding of our community by French settlers. As I said, there will be refreshments available all day at the French Festival booth. And again, the community library, the Cape Vincent Community Library, will be providing the book Vineyards to Victory there for autograph if you would like, but certainly you can get a copy again at a discount, 31% discount. They'll be $20 each, with 100% of the sales, again, supporting the Cape Vincent Community Library. So an opportunity to come and buy lots of copies, Amy, so you can stock up for Christmas and give one to everybody in your family, and know that you're supporting the Cape Vincent Community Library at the same time. Amy, anything else you want to add about the French Festival, and for anybody that might not be as familiar with the French Festival, can you tell us a little bit about what the day is like and what it might be like to come to our booth?
There'll be a lot of vendors in the streets and on the green. There'll be a parade midday. There'll be food trucks and carts, as well as the local restaurants offering specials. There's activities for the children and family areas for the younger children. And it's a great opportunity to learn about French heritage in our community.
It's a wonderful day not to be missed. And so then we're going to wrap up. Leon, we've got an event here with the Sons of American Revolution. You folks have been absolutely wonderful, and this was really a great solemn way to end our celebration. Can you tell us what's going to be taking place on Sunday, July 12th?
Sure, I'll give it a try anyways. As hopefully you all know, and I've been learning and researching a little bit, that Simeon served in the Revolutionary War from the French side, supported our independence back in the 1770s and the late part of the war, and was there at the, I think at Yorktown. Following the war, he went back home to France, and there he passed away and died, I guess, very peacefully. But his oldest son, Simeon Jr., as well as his widow, and also Simeon Jr.'s children, came to America and settled, I want to say in the early 1800s?
1832.
1832, and established what they call the French settlement, which later became Rosiere. And based on Simeon's hometown in France, they took the name and established it there in Jefferson County. So in honor of that, we're going to have a recognition of Simeon. We're placing a wreath at the, I'm still working on the pronunciation here, Gaugien monument there behind the Rosiere Church. We're placing a monument. We'll have a ceremony acknowledging his service to the French, from the French side, to our American heritage and our American independence. We will place a wreath. We'll have a ceremony. There'll be several aspects of that that's still being put together. Following that, we're going to walk across the street, and the Knights of Columbus have graciously offered their hall for a reception. And I'm still trying to determine whether red wine can be served as part of the reception. I know that that was something that Ted had asked about, and I'm still researching about that. I did share with the church that my understanding is that Simeon's grandson was the first altar boy at the church there when it was established at the French settlement. And when was the first?
That's right. That's correct. Charles Andre It was Simeon's grandson. And in 1832, he was the very first altar boy at St. Vincent de Paul Church in Rosiere.
Yes. So I'm hoping for good church involvement as well as community involvement, knowing that the person that helped establish their namesake is being recognized that day. So it'll be a very solemn occasion, I think, but also a great celebration of the heritage. And the Knights of Columbus Hall will be a very fitting, I'm not sure how big it is, but I think it's a fitting tribute, and that'll work well in case it pours rain, which we hope it doesn't, but you never know. I think
Of course, it can't, Leon. It can't rain that day. It can't rain that day.
I tend not to be a betting man, but I wouldn't put much money either way on that one. You just never know in the North
That's
Country.
right.
But anyways,
the
the ceremony will be outside unless it's thunder and lightning. Otherwise, we'll gather outside at the monument for the ceremony. We'll then move across the street for the reception to follow.
Wonderful. Leon, we cannot thank the Sons of American Revolution Thousand Islands chapter enough for all the incredible work that you folks are doing. And for everybody who's with us, if you're seeing on the screen here, that is the actual Gaugien family monument that's just outside of the church, right behind St. Vincent de Paul Church. That's where we will be gathering for the wreath laying. And if everybody who's with us today can help get the word out to anyone in particular who might be related to Siméon Gaugien, we want to make sure that they're there to also recognize our shared relative, Siméon Gaugien. So thank you. And I think just a great opportunity to wrap up 4 wonderful days of celebration. Sorry, Leon, go ahead.
I just want to say that it took me some figuring out, because I had the St. Vincent de Paul Cemetery, St. Vincent de Paul Church versus St. Vincent of Paul. One's in Cape Vincent, and there's really not an address or a zip code, I don't think, for Rosiere, is there?
Not that I found. That's why I just put the address for the Knights of Columbus and said it's across the street.
It is.
So,
but I think
so you can find out where they are.
But you don't want to just say simply Cape Vincent, because people will go to the church in Cape Vincent and they won't find the monument, nor will they find the Knights of Columbus Hall across the street. So we need to stress that it is in Rosiere, and it should be a great time.
Well, thank you, Leon. And of course, Siméon Gaugien is a recognized patriot of the United States by the Sons of American Revolution. And we are hoping to get other groups like the DAR involved. So anyone who has contacts, or if your thoughts are that there are other groups that might like to have the opportunity on this particular day to recognize a true patriot who helped the United States win its independence, please contact Leon or contact me directly, and I'll put you in touch with Leon, who is heading up this event. So with that, that is the story that we have. We hope that all of you who are with us today will share what we have planned: 4 days of wonderful celebration of French heritage. Come for the history, come for our heritage, and come because this is America's story. We will be in Cape Vincent and Watertown at the French Festival, and then in Rosiere. So 4 days of celebration. And you can certainly contact me at any time. You have my name. It's Ted Hart, TEDHART. My email is quite simple, tedhart@tedhart.com. So please be in touch and help us get the word out. Everybody is welcome. All of these events are free. Come and enjoy and celebrate French heritage in the North Country. Leon, anything else you'd like to join today?
The service, as you know, is still being put together, but it should be an exciting time and also a very solemn and meaningful time. I will be inviting the DAR to participate with some readings. Wonderful. And laying a wreath, certainly.
That is wonderful. Amy, thank you so much for all of your leadership and that of your board of directors. Cape Vincent Community Library, of course, has been the leader in putting all of this together, and we can't thank you enough. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we begin wrapping up? See if there's any questions from the people that are with us today, but anything else you want to add about the events coming up next month?
No, it's been a pleasure collaborating with you, and I'm excited to see all of our work come to fruition for the week of July 9th through the 12th. And I hope everyone can come to these events and participate and learn a lot about our history.
Perfect. And I will just note, just for everybody here, it was mentioned just as we were getting started, I am a very proud Watertown native, born and raised in the North Country. So this is, they always say you can't go back home, but I have to tell you, you've all been so welcoming to have me come back, and this opportunity to celebrate Siméon Gaugien and particularly his son, Siméon Jr., who did start the family as Americans in 1832. So let me open it up just in case there are any questions of anybody who's joined us today. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have. I'm going to stop sharing, I think, if I can. Yes, I'm going to stop sharing just so we can see each other a little bit better. Are there any questions or anything that anybody would like to add today? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see Margaret was here. I didn't mean to rush by you, Margaret. Let me just take an opportunity to introduce Margaret Coe. Margaret is helping produce all of these events. Is also going to be making arrangements for all the food and making sure, pretty much just making sure that we all stay in line and that the events are well run. So Margaret, let's take a minute to get to know you. But also to see if there's anything you'd like to add about what's being planned.
You're muted, Margaret.
Yeah, I think you're muted. Can you unmute, or you don't know if you can unmute?
There we go.
There you go. There we go.
I'm used to
We're here for
the platform of Zoom, so this is a little bit different. So I'm Margaret Coe. I own the Sackett's Harbor Ballroom. I do a lot of event planning, and Ted asked me if I would like to help plan all the events. So far, I've looked into a photographer that can take pictures of all of the events. So the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So that's all completed so far. And I'm just trying to make a budget. And if anybody needs to, like, they know something that I need to know, definitely give me lots of information. I love lots of information, and then I can kind of plug it in where it needs to go. I was looking at food and what type of food. We'll do primarily charcuterie on, for the library on the 9th and the 10th. I don't know if those places, we might just do grape juice instead of wine at those two places. And then I just need to know kind of like the size of the table. Is it 6 foot? Is it 8 foot that we need for the 11th? And and then we can kind of go from there.
Well, Margaret, thank you so much. As Margaret's giving you a chance, we're literally putting all the details together right now, but we do have the right team in place, and all the events that we've shared with you folks today are all confirmed. We will be there, but what the food will be and what the setup will look like is something that Margaret is still working on all the details for. But I think from Amy to Leon to myself and everybody else involved, we know we're in good hands with Margaret Coe. So we're looking forward to working with you, Margaret, and we know these are really going to be fantastic events. Before we wrap up today, are there any questions or anything else that anybody else would like to add regarding our celebration of French heritage in the North Country from July 9th through the 12th?
Ted, I just
All right,
wanted to thank
yeah.
you very much for writing the book. I read it and I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I'm confident many others will do so also.
Maria, it's so good to have you here, and thank you so much. Can since you have finished the book, and we're certainly hoping that lots of people will, can you tell us a little bit about what you thought of the book or what stood out for you?
I think the character Simeon, and just following his life through this whole event of history, is remarkable. I tend not to read a lot of historical narratives, so it was a different type of reading for me, but it was a easy, comfortable read, and I think it will appeal to a greater population.
Wonderful, thank you. Is there anything that stood out about Simeon's life that you didn't expect, or anything that comes to mind very quickly?
I think for me, his personal life was of most interest versus his time as an artilleryman. I loved learning just about his personal life and his family's personal life. But I'm sure for others, his events as an artilleryman were very interesting too.
Very interesting to follow someone who actually was at Yorktown on the and as part of the French forces. But he did have an interesting personal life. Maria will, as you'll attest, he went back after the war to France and got married. He had 3 children, only one of which survives to adulthood. That's Simeon Jr. He then passed away in 1831. And Simeon Jr. sold the vineyard and the farm and moved the entire family to northern New York in 1832, the year after his father passed away. Actually, not even a full year, just several months after his father passed. They then sailed to America and started their lives and the legacy of being an American family. And then we do go on, as you know, Maria, to tell the story after France and the beginning of the French settlement, Rosiere, and bring that forward at the end of the book, all the way up to almost modern times. We certainly track Cape Vincent and Rosiere and what it was like to live in the North Country through the Great Depression, or first of all through the Civil War, then through the Great Depression, through World War II, through Korea. And then we wrap up the story from there. So it does cover about 250 years of history. And I will say, in writing this book, I am absolutely amazed at how much of Simeon's life we were able to reconstruct 250 years later, when he was not royal, he was not wealthy, he was not a general, he was just a common soldier, a common artilleryman fighting under Rochambeau at Yorktown. So Maria, thank you for bringing that up, and I'm so glad that you've enjoyed the book, and I hope that a lot of folks will as well. Are there any other comments or thoughts or anything? Hope, I see that you're with us. If there's anyone else or Jim, if you have any comments before we wrap up today. No, we're good. Amy, I think we're all set. We're recording this, so we'll make this available to folks. And Leon, thank you again for all that you're doing. Margaret, really very much looking forward to working with you and everybody in the North Country. Help us get the word out so we have big crowds in celebration of French heritage in the North Country next month.